All right, here we go. Another episode. I'm Dr. Dustin Boston here with the Erin Ruggieri. Your future is closer than you think. This is The Vital Wire. All right, so we can talk about this future aspect from a couple different angles. I like thinking about the future.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about the future.
Depends.
Back to the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got one wheels now and hoverboards, so we're already there. However, a lot of what we deal with every day with our clientele, with our teams, with our athletes, has a lot to do with the future.
Yeah.
Their future.
Yeah.
So as we were thinking about this throughout the week, and well, what do we podcast on? It was really a profound idea of your future can be tomorrow.
Right.
Your future can be a week from now. Your future could be retirement. But your future, no matter what it is closer than you think, because every tomorrow is a future.
Right.
How you start planning for that, or sometimes really realizing that you can't plan for that. You can only control what you can control, but do the right things long enough and your future is always bright.
Yeah.
So this is could go very deep very quickly. I think we'll loop in a couple different things and a few different points just to give full circle, give some empowerment, give some enlightenment, get on a soapbox a little bit of why we do what we do as a whole, because people are figuring out very quickly. I posted about one of the officers we take care of and having him come in and says, I don't want to be the status quo of what first responders look like at the end of their career. So they're already starting to talk about their future.
Right.
I don't care how I feel now, taking care of myself to control what I can control about my future.
Right. Yeah, and it's like the whole kind of saying, you don't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of my take on the future.
That would be your take on the future.
Because you never really know what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, tomorrow you could say I was still dancing or something, and then you get a call tomorrow and they're like, oh, actually, your season's over.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
You're done.
Yeah. You're done.
And that's just the thing too, is like at any point in time, you could get that call.
Yeah.
That you're cut. Or there's an injury and you need surgery, or unfortunate information that you have to go in for, or maybe a pure change of heart, or a family member incident.
Yep.
But taking the controllables is... don't try to control what you can't control. Take the controllables and do what you can now, because your future is way closer than you think.
Yeah.
So as we start to think about this, even from just a general mind perspective, is if you can treat every day, every tomorrow as part of your future, just do the little things today that's going to set you up for more success tomorrow.
Right.
Stop putting things off and really have a better idea. You don't have to live so far in the future that you're not in the now.
Yeah.
But what you do now is going to predict what goes on tomorrow.
Right.
How your next 3 weeks look, what retirement looks like, what your bank account looks like, what your health looks like. So start to do the little things every day and be consistent with that, because as you do that, if you consistently put things off, your future is going to look a lot different than what you wanted it to.
Right.
So in our office here, we deal a lot with people talking about their future.
Yep.
I don't know if... Honestly, I don't think we've really recognized and owned that. I think we've just kind of taken that for granted. With our athletes. It's like they don't come in here talking about their last game. They talk about what happened in their last game and how it's going to affect their next one.
Right.
Or how, all of these days at work and having kids and all this stress is affecting what they're going to be doing here.
Right.
So I think a lot of what we do, and I think a lot of what my profession and what our profession, what we can do better is realizing that people are talking to us about their future.
Yeah.
Stop trying to figure out what the now is, where are they at, but they're talking about their future. Let them.
Yeah.
And we help them through that. So every day, and what we've started to figure out is it's like they keep talking about our future. That's where their value is.
Right.
So for us, it's very easy. Where do you want to be? Where are you at now? And how can we get you there? Because if we don't start to take care of these things now, whether it's blood work, whether it's an MRI finding, whether it's wellness care, and it's in like the officer I was talking about said, I don't want to end up like that.
Right.
If we don't start doing those things now, that future can look so many different ways, and it ends up looking the way that you didn't dream of it.
Right. Well, especially whenever you kind of touch on the athlete side too, like their future can look very different depending on their projection of their maybe college career too.
Yeah.
They could have their whole life planned out, and then, like we said, in a blink of an eye, their whole like life plan is kind of blown out of the water, or in the best way, blown in a different direction. So you kind of got to be ready for that as well, because like we talk about all the time, like you're an athlete, you're a human. You're a human before you're an athlete.
Yes. So, and we just had that conversation with the dad, and I think he almost I hit him right in the feels too, because I think I kind of beat him to the punch, and he's like, that's what I tell him all the time. Is it's like, I don't care what you decide to do, but it's between the ears, that's what's important.
Right. And
whether you're an athlete or not, you're still my kid, and you're still a person.
Right.
And I said, that's exactly what we're shooting for, and that's why, like, I've always come across with, where do you want to be? Like, whether I have something to sell you or not has never really been on my mind. And maybe it should be. Maybe I should sell harder. But everybody should know, like, what we do here, whether athlete, general public, teacher, officer, doesn't matter who you are. It's the intention of, what does your future look like? What do you want it to look like? Where do you see yourself? Are you laying on the beach? Yes. Okay, great. You're laying on the beach. Do you still have all those migraines?
Right.
Did you have that hip replacement so you can't even walk on the sand?
Right.
There's a big distinct, what you do today is going to affect your tomorrow. So, but it's so much closer than you think. Everybody says it goes so fast. Oh, when you have kids, it goes so fast. I've said on here before, it's like, I've never discounted how fast time goes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to figure out is, why do people wait so long? Well, I put my kids first. Well, it's kind of a selfish move at this point.
Yep.
Because you're doing now what's going to affect later. So it's like, well, but I want to be with them. I want to enjoy my grandkids. Well, then you got to take care of now. That future is coming.
Right. People just think they can, like, oh, my back just hurts, and it's just kind of a normal thing. But then they have grandkids, and you can't pick them up if your back hurts.
Right.
And do you want to make it to their graduation or not?
Right. And it's like, well, I know he looks like he's lifting wrong, but he's got to do these workouts for his sport. And it's like, okay, well, what point in time do you take care of the form?
Yep.
What point in time do you get the health? Well, it costs money. Well, it's going to cost a life.
Right.
It's going to cost an effect. It's going to cost a career. It's going to cost a calf muscle. It's going to cost a back injury, and it's going to cost a career with the future of what they're driving for. Like, whatever your trophy is, you've got to keep your mind on it, and you can't put yourself to the side, because it's so much closer. You could also get the call tomorrow from a scout.
Yeah.
That's in the step of the right direction of where you want to go. And this could go one of two ways.
Right.
And as soon as we start to change the dynamic of feeling versus function, past versus future, and getting so honed in on symptom versus performance, as soon as we start to change those perspectives, and really something else we've talked about too, is it's like, are you going to continue to invest, or let somebody tell you what you can and can't have because you pay a premium towards it?
Yep.
And it's like, buy a Ferrari and tell me how you take care of it. Like, if you have a Ferrari, I guarantee you your insurance isn't paying for oil changes. I guarantee you where you store that thing and how you wash it and what you feed it is all going to be premium stuff. So at what point in time, and it's also going to predict the future, the value, the resale value of the lifetime of that vehicle. And at the same time, it's like, okay, let's get off the person thing. Is it's like, you're also a vehicle.
Right.
You have a message to carry. And if you can't get there based on what you've done and how you've treated yourself now, as that future comes, and every day's the future, as that future comes, are you able to get to where you were actually trying to go?
Right.
Based on how you treated yourself previously?
Yeah, well, and we've talked about a lot, like with parents and the younger athletes we're seeing. So that's why it's so important that the parents set the foundation of what it looks like to take care of yourself. Because whenever a kid is 5, 10, even like we have newborns in here, like their lifestyle is taking care of themselves. So it doesn't have to be a rewiring of their brain, which is what's happening right now in society. It's like, oh, I have to take care of myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody is starting to see that. And that's why, we've started the Pure Athlete huddles and doing those potentially once a month at this point. We have one on the 12th at 6:30, Tuesday night, September 12th here. That's why we've done the Vital Shift dinners and doing it for our general public client too, is because yes, we're seeing more student athletes. Yes, I'm wearing my brand new Pure Athlete hat. But we also see the grandparents who want to be able to sit in the stands, and it's like, whether it's neuropathy, whether it's a metabolic issue, whether it's migraines or structural issues or scoliosis, it's like we still see the parents trying to catch up for how they didn't take care of themselves before, because the future is they're the grandparent.
Right.
Who doesn't want to? I mean, growing old's inevitable. Like, the inevitable is the inevitable.
Right.
Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
How you choose to live and get to that point and through that point is up to you. But who doesn't want to watch every generation they can do what they want and love to do, and help raise them and bring them up, and enjoy the family vacations, and enjoy the football games and the softball games and the dance competitions? And it's like, the quality of which you're able to do that is up to you.
Right.
There's extenuating circumstances. Accidents and traumas happen. That's not ideal. But at the same time, that's a very, very low percentage of life. Yes, it happens. We've all had, incidences with family members or friends where, maybe it required a surgery, or they were in a bad accident, or they got a bad diagnosis. Like, yes, those things happen. But by and large, if you want to step away from the emotion side of that and look at the statistics of how often does that happen?
Right.
It's a relatively low considering the population in the world. Like, how many people have a very traumatic surgery, have rods put in their legs, hip replacements? I guarantee you it's growing more and more now. I think that percentage has changed a ton in the past even 10 years.
Right.
However, given the population by the X amount of age, how many people have actually had an extreme surgery is really pretty low. What's the common denominator? And what does that look like? And so we're trying to help plan your future, your kid's future, your newborn's future, your athlete's future, your grandparent future, of, if you do the right things now, if we invest in the right things now, is the return on investment worth the risk?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
If you do the right things, if you get adjusted, take care of your health, do the blood work, do whatever it is you need to do, and stop pushing aside the nagging things. Oh, I just get through it. It's like, yeah, but how about we fix that now? Because the just getting through it now, I guarantee you, is going to wear and tear on you, and it's going to make that future look a lot different of quality of life later.
Yeah, the whole getting through it aspect of the mindset of, oh, I'm just going to get through it. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal for you to have to stay home and not go to a nephew or cousin or anything's game because you have a migraine.
Yeah.
And that took, honestly, for me, that was normal. I would come home from school, have to take a nap before I went to dance because my head always hurt.
Yeah.
But in my head, that was normal. But now I'm realizing that's not normal.
Right.
And I shouldn't have to shut myself down for a whole day if I don't feel good because of a headache.
Right.
And that's just what society's kind of made it, though.
Common and normal is two different things.
Yes.
Right? I don't think anybody would agree that we are born into this earth to have problems. We're not, that's not the way it works.
Right.
God doesn't build junk. He did not put us here to intentionally have health issues. Again, extenuating circumstances, I get it. But however, by and large, no, it's not normal to have those, but it's more common. So how do we take care of whatever it is? Sinus issues, allergies, digestive issues, migraines, neuropathies, nerve issues, whatever it is. It's like, how do we start to take care of that? But as we were saying before we got onto this little rant, is people are looking for different.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be on more medication. Nobody wants to put their kid on inhalers. Nobody wants to have exploratory surgery. Nobody wants to have those things. People are actively looking. We want to be that resource.
Right.
We have colleagues. We just had that family of 3 referred today from a great office in Newburgh, New York, where I did my residency.
Yeah.
And people are like, it is so amazing how when we've moved here, even in 2 weeks, we see his sleep, 9 months old, we see his sleep changing, and he's actually now going to chiropractic school because they get it. People are looking for options. As we've started, accidentally slow rolled this student athlete urgent care
Yeah.
out. We literally yesterday, it's like we might have that family on here and let them tell their story, because at the same time, I'm sick of being quiet. Y'all want resources. You guys are looking, the society is looking for these things, and we have it rolling in here. It's like, we're going to start exploiting that.
Yeah.
So if you're a client and you're listening to this and you have a story to tell and you want to come tell it, please do, because you don't know who it's going to affect out there. We can talk to it till we're blue in the face as the clinicians, right? We can talk to, but having the real stories. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you want to tell your story, please do. And if you're listening to this and I know you have a story, I'm going to make you tell it, because the effect it can have on people's life and people's future, that is way far closer than we think, could be exponential. Like, you never know who you're going to save and who that's going to impact, because people are looking for, well, what else can I do? Because this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, it's just so great to see that. But at the end of the day, whatever your story is, if you're pushing through something, it's time to start evaluating, what am I pushing through and how do I fix it?
Yeah.
What resources do I need? Where do I go? Start reaching out. And again, we say this on every podcast, reach out to us.
Yeah.
If we feel we can help you, we will tell you that.
Yep.
If we feel we know somebody better for you that can help you with what you're going through, we can help with that. On the pure athlete side, it's like, my kids, this, and this. The pure athlete is built on 3 pillars that we are very, very strong in. Mental, physical, relationships. And really, we can take that into our general population of practice too.
For sure.
That's what our heartbeat is physical, mental, relationships. So with those 3 things, yes, we can help with a lot of that, and we will, and we want to, because the value that is there in your future is far higher than a pot of gold that ends up in your 401k.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I believe there's so many people that would trade their 401k, especially nowadays 401ks. I don't think anybody even wants to look at their 401k, but I bet they'd trade it all for their health to be able to sit in the bleachers at 87 years old and watch their great grandkids, play their last senior high school football game.
Yep.
Or to go on the Disney cruise, whatever it is. It's, people are willing, if they know what the value is and if they have the right resources, to invest in themselves, to enjoy a quality of life that they need, want, and deserve.
Right. Yeah, you have to control what you can control. And this is what you can control, is how you take care of yourself. No, you can't control the accidents that happen, the traumas that happen, but you can do everything, the prehab, basically, of your body. It's the same thing with like what we're doing with Pure Athlete and everything with the AMI and Ultimate Sports Physicals, or the Ultimate Athlete Evaluation.
The Ultimate Athlete Evaluation, yes.
But we're working on it before it happens.
Yeah.
It's not just with orthopedic injuries, it's also with the mental, the physical of a daily life.
And that's a perfect example. We'll soapbox for it here real quick. That's a perfect example of like the society thing that we're in now is, I'm going to change some perspective right now. So we've been calling it the Ultimate Sports Physical.
My bad.
and so, but let's talk about this, because this might shift some perspective. So great. Like, everybody who has done it has been just in awe, and we love that. And a lot of student athletes have started care in the past 30 days, 60 days. And they love it. And they're like, when do we do the next one? And what's this look like going forward? And oh my gosh, I didn't know, like, who else are you working with? Like, we need to get Howell in on this. We need to get Rush Soccer in on this. And people are actively looking to get us, like, we're in the talks of doing whole teams evaluations, strapping this technology to them, going through the complete evaluation, because we called it the Ultimate Sports Physical, because yes, these student athletes need physicals.
Right.
So that gets done. Your $20 go to your chiropractor physical, yes, that gets done. Now, we have 3 other like degrees, angles of evaluation that we also do with that. There's technology strapped to them. There's a dynamic and static evaluation with range of motion and through exercises and figuring out what's weak, where are they most vulnerable. But we called it the Ultimate Sports Physical. In society thinks, well, they already have a physical, so never mind.
Right.
And it's like, damn it. It's why are we so quick to stereotype? Why are we so quick to, but I think that's honestly because people don't don't know. They get so used to that. We speak that, and it's like, they need physical, they need physical. So they automatically think that they're getting this. It's like, well, I'm not going to pay that if they've already got a physical.
Right.
So we've started calling it the ultimate athlete evaluation, because now maybe that'll change the mindset. But at some point in time, it's like, just ask more questions. We're willing to change. But why are we so quick to just lump one word into what we think it is? It's very, very soft. Like, take away the stereotype. It's just, I don't know. I just find it very like, oh, they already have a sports physical. It's done. It's like, man, we missed the boat 30 years ago on this sports physical, and then how we're responding to that. So we've kind of pulled the crowd to change the perspective and bring the kind of the eyebrow raised. Well, wait, like, there's a whole evaluation to this. And so between assessment and physical and evaluation, we've landed on the evaluation. Because here at the end of the day, that's what we do with everybody in our office, is provide whatever the client is, an athlete, a parent, a teacher, a grandparent, whatever the circle of life is. We've evaluate what it is you're saying, what it is you're here to do, what it is your future looks like, what it is you want out of life, the quality of life you want to have it. And we evaluate, are we a good fit? We evaluate what it is you're saying and what your heartbeat is. We evaluate what your health looks like. We evaluate what your care plan looks like going forward, and how much correction we can expect over X amount of time. We evaluate what the future for you in this office looks like, and what your return on investment can expect to be. So it just, I guess, made more sense, and it kind of honed us in. And what we want everybody else to know is, it's like, okay, we're done with physical. We're calling it an evaluation, because really in our whole practice, that's what we do. And I think people evaluate that more. Well, let me evaluate your finances. Let me evaluate where you're investing your money. Let me evaluate that itinerary and see if we can make it more efficient. And that's what we're doing, is how can we get you a higher return on your investment? If you're going to spend your money, how can we evaluate what's necessary, what you need, how to get you the most return and get you the most quality and results going forward?
Well, everyone gets a physical, but not everyone cares that much to get an evaluation too, which is also why I like that we changed the name.
100%. So that's all a part of getting back to, because the future's closer than you think. It's like, if all we did is sat here and did the same things over and over again, and we're status quo. We hear people all the time, well, my last chiropractor, my last health and wellness office, and it's like, we're not your last.
No.
Like, we aren't that person. We are changing the game, but to see people now more than ever be like, huh, this is different. We're not hearing as much anymore of like, well, my last chiropractor didn't do it that way. We're hearing more of, well, this is different.
Well, if you do the same things over and over again without no result, that's definition of insanity.
Yes. So. We're not here to make you go insane.
No. No.
We might be here to make you a little bit uncomfortable and change the dynamic a little bit, but it's going to be worth the while. So, but it's all about the future and why we do those things we do and how we do it, because like the theme of this podcast is, because your future is really closer than you think. And on the student athlete side, it's like 4 years of high school goes fast, bang, gone. And it's like, actually, if you're in high school, like Scouts are way before now. I mean, we're talking 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Like, they're looking at some, like,
sophomore year, if you're not signed, it's like,
I mean, if you haven't been talked to, reached out to, or whatever the game plan is now, or somebody's kind of slyly sent you an email, whatever the play is now, it's like, it's all about the future. And if we can give you access to this earlier, if we can give you parents access to your health goals earlier, if we can get grandparents back to where they need to be, it's all about evaluating what your goals are and us providing the right evaluations to make sure your future is as bright as possible. And it's the start of a big season. Fall season. And kids are back in school. Football games have already started. We'll be headed into week 3 now. And there's a lot changing in life, and it's so easy to choose something now that's going to affect your future later. It's like, oh, we're just so busy. I don't know if I can get in there. Oh, or just this is the least busy you will ever be.
And everyone has the same amount of hours in a day. It just depends on how you use them.
Right. And I get that. And that's why, like, the way we schedule clients in our office, it's like, but regardless of that, it's like, you're always going to be too busy. If that's what you're going to think and that's what you're going to choose, you're always going to be too busy. So, but at the end of the day, it's like, you sit down, take a breath, and if I don't do this, if I don't invest now, what impact does it have on my life? If I don't put this $10 away, if I don't take this 30 minutes, if I don't go get adjusted, if I don't, whatever it is, I'm pushing through. If I don't take care of it now, when am I?
Right. Never.
You're not doing anything super noble by not taking care of yourself. You're using a crutch as putting someone else forward to give you an excuse to be like, okay with the fact that you didn't do what you knew you should have done.
Right.
Well, I got to put my kids first. That's fine.
Well, your kid's going to be sad whenever you're not at their games.
Exactly. So with that, just keep in mind, like the future is way closer than you think. The resources are out there. We are boldly going to be speaking on that more. Again, we're here for anybody. We're not for everybody, but we do have resources that will align with whoever needs it in whatever walk of life they do. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care what that looks like. It's like, just at the end of the day, take care of yourself now. Make sure your future has the opportunity to make sure you're available for whatever it is you want to be available for.
I love that.
I don't know if we've talked about that. Well, did we talk about it in the last podcast? No, I don't think we did. That's my whole why in life. Yeah. And I don't know if I've talked about that on a podcast before. It's like, well, why are you here? What I just want to be available. I want to be available for my kids. I want to be available to adjust in the office. I want to be available to go to a race. I want to be available to cut a big check to a school booster club. Like I just want to be available. Yeah. However, if I am not physically, mentally, and relationally fit, that availability looks a lot different.
Yeah, you can't take care of other people without taking care of yourself. I think people forget that.
Yeah. And the person you are, it's like, it's amazing. The people who are healthier, the people who plan for their future and they do it around their health are wealthier. They're way less stressed. Their friend circle looks a lot different than most, and more enjoyable to be around. And like that magnetization of who God puts around you when you are the best version of yourself. There's a lot of things that change. Is it work? Hell yeah, it's work. But if you put in the work, what happens? And on the other side of that, and you start to look around, I mean, I challenge anybody to take 90 days. Yeah. I challenge anybody to really come in here. If you're not in here yet, give us 90 days. Yeah. Experience the culture. And we drip on this whole time and start to make that effort and change in your health, in your mental aspect, in the relationships, starting with your health. Come in here, 90 days, and then look back. At the end of that 90 days, our corrective care period, we call it. Yeah. At the end of that 90 days, I bet you could look back and be like, these people I'm around less, these people I'm around more, my quality of sleep is this, my health is this, my weight, how I look in the mirror, my attitude, my financials, I bet all of that, at least it may not look perfect. It might. Right. But I bet you see progress. Right. In the direction of whatever your future is supposed to look like for you.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like too.
Well, here we go. Hope everybody has had a great Labor Day weekend. Yeah. We are back at it this week. Short week this week. We are in the office Tuesday, Wednesday. I will be at Eldora Speedway. Leaving Wednesday night, I will be at Eldora Thursday through Sunday. So great opportunity there. Yeah. So excited as that. We'll talk more about that on a different podcast. This is going to be a big weekend for the launch of something great along the lines of the Pure Athlete, along the lines of what I am trying to make sure I'm available to do, whatever my future looks like for myself, my family, my kids, this profession with what we do. Future student athletes and athletes as a whole. Yeah. So great week at Eldora Speedway this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we're here. Next week, back to normal schedule.
Heck yeah.
Get your PSLs. Yeah. Pumpkin spice lattes coming out. #PSL. Look out. See ya.